So I finally got my fire to max. We did this on a live stream. I was just constantly streaming on my fire. We finally got through Wallaroo. And since I was 170, I decided to start going for the max gear. And I already had the Wallaroo World Pack unlocked on my other characters. So I just decided to open that on those characters and then transfer over the gear. Because I'd rather do that than try to farm Malice. That just sounds like a bad time. So I have all of the Reaver gear now, and I would say that my fire is max stat for PvE at 170 without any raid gear. Raid gear is probably the only other way that you could get better stats than these, so I am proud of it. I have a new pet to show you guys, and yeah, it's pretty good stats. It actually is better than my storm stats because I feel like on fire you can get a little bit better on the Pierce, which I'll show you guys. So let's look at it. Here we go. 170 fire. I have 10,385 health, which is more than Storm, of course. I think Storm is around like 9k health, at least my Storm is, with the max stat set that I have over there. We have 237 damage, which rounds down from 238. I have seen people go for 238 showing on the damage here. To get that, you need like 241 total damage, and then it will round to 238. I don't really care about that. I think 237 is totally fine. I actually have the same damage on my Storm. We have 42% resist across the board. I have 37 accuracy, which is enough to not fizzle any fire spells. Moving over to the advanced stats, we have 810 critical, which I think all max sets are around this. Crit doesn't really matter that much. These are just what we're given. So 810 is good enough. We don't actually go for crit. Block is 650. Same, we don't really go for block. We just kind of accept whatever block is on these gear pieces. So 650. This is the stat that I actually am pretty proud of. We were at 57% armor piercing. Most sets nowadays, all you go for really is damage and Pierce for PvE. These stats matter the most, and getting to the max damage, about 237, and the highest amount of Pierce possible is the goal. On my fire, I can hit 57%, which I'm really proud of hitting that. And then the other page, we have pip conversion, 841, 102% power pips, 104 shadow rating. I have less shadow rating than on my Storm, but I'm gonna be real. Fire doesn't need shadow rating as much as Storm because Fire's shadow spells just aren't quite as good. Storm benefits a lot more from certain shadow spells like bugs. If Bull was 5 pips, then I probably wouldn't be saying this because Bull would be kind of comparable to bugs, at least a little more than it is now. But yeah, Fire really only uses shadow spells for single hits. Like S'more Machine is really good. That's probably the best. Let me go over here. S'more Machine is probably the best shadow hit. Scorching is really good. I do use Scorching a decent amount. S'more Machine is super good, especially for solo bosses. Raging Bull is okay. I feel like Fires are using other AoEs besides this. It's not usually necessary to use this hit. And then, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's no other... I mean, FFA is just non-existent. Like, no one is using FFA unless it's for very specific boss fights that need a bunch of overtimes and then you detonate. That's probably the only reason people are using this. 191 Arch Mastery. And yeah, that's all the stats there. So let's go ahead and start with the gear. So here we go. We're using the Fire Fairy hat. This is from the Fairy Pack. I don't use too much fairy gear on this character because the Fire gear set revolves a lot around Reaver, which is different from Storm. My Storm gear doesn't use any Reaver currently. But this one we use a lot. So we use the Fairy Hat because we can get away with it. Since this doesn't give Power Pip, we make it up with the other pieces of gear. And we kind of get better stats by using one Fairy. And the rest is going to be Reaver. We have Reaver Robe here, which I feel like a lot of Fires are using this right now. Super good. The only upgrade here would be if you have the Raid Robe, which I would love to get someday. Maybe I will get it. This was a big upgrade for me because I went from Malister Robe to this. I did have this one, which is okay, but it was lacking in the accuracy that the Mally robe has, so I think I still was using the Mally robe up until 170. But yeah, finally switched over to the Reaver robe. Super nice to get that. I did have to get it from the pack, which took me a good amount of crowns. We're also using the Reaver boots. Super good. Tons of damage from these. You get pip. You get some accuracy as well. 8 pierce, 10 resist, so definitely nice to have those. Also using the Reaver boomerang. And I have socketed on this the sharpened blade, which is the tier jewel. I just transferred this jewel over for my life because my life can craft these since I did the badge for it. And these jewels, you can craft it, send it in the shared bank, and then all your other characters can use these. So I did not have to do this badge on my fire, which is nice. So I have that socketed there. I feel like a lot of people are socketing either potent or sharpen onto their wands just because it's kind of like what Dragoon used to be, where we had the boot sharpen. Now we have the sharpen from the wand, and you can just socket it. So definitely recommend doing that. I'm using the Fiery Chrysanthemum Knife. This is from Takanobu. It's actually from the crafter right outside of Takanobu's sigil. It's a gold key boss in the Cave of Solitude. All you gotta do is farm that guy a couple times and you get enough sword oil, and then you can go ahead and craft this. And this is pretty much used by all fires that I've seen because it gives the triangle socket, which you need to get the extra power pip. You socket pierce, and then extra health opal onto this. Tons of power pip, 19% comes from this athame, so we do need that. And if you count the socketed power pip, we're up to 29% just from this. So this is the main reason that we even get over 100% power pip from this one. And that athame. I'm using the Fire Fairy necklace. And we have socketed damage onto this and some accuracy. I actually have the best accuracy socketed onto this. You have to craft that triangle jewel in order to get the 16. Or you can just go ahead and go to the other guy in the Wallaroo area, in the main area, Hope Springs, and you can craft the 15%, which I think is still good enough. So this is the necklace that I'm using. I'm using the Reaver ring. On this one, I have health socketed, another damage, and then the square health jewel. This is from farming Montgomery. You have to get the Montgomery badge in order to craft this. And for the circle jewels and the square jewels, you have to go ahead and farm Freddy for the circle and Montgomery for the square on every character that you want these, because they are school specific. The other jewel is not school specific. This one's not. You can get the sharpen on one character and then just transfer it. But unfortunately, these other ones you can't. So you're going to have to farm Freddy 10 times per character, farm Montgomery 10 times per character in order to get these jewels. That is the Reaver ring. So my pet, I'm pretty proud of this one. I have a Scratchy Philosaur here with 2 Pierce talents, and I made it so that the socket was the armor piercer. I have this jewel from the Kroger jewels that came out long time ago. I made a video on this years ago, and I've had this jewel just kind of on different pets. You can unsocket it whenever you want. So I unsocketed it from a different pet, put it onto this pet, and yeah, these stats are really good. So I have Fire Giver, Pain Giver, Fire Dealer as my 3 damage. Mighty is manifested here. Armor Breaker as the best Pierce talent. And then the socketed Kroger jewel with Armor Piercer and May cast Incendiate. I'm excited to see if this casts. It hasn't cast yet, but maybe someday, I don't know. It's just cool to see it on this pet. This is where we got a problem. So I only have a 1 day currently. And I do have some 7 days. I've been stocking up. I have 3 7 days currently. I think I have more in my bank somewhere. A couple other 1 days. But we don't have Perm Stompy, which is definitely a problem for this, because in order to get max damage on this build, I need Stompy. Yes, I could rely on 7 days and just keep using it, but it doesn't hit the same as having Perm. We had the exact same problem on my Storm, which is really sad. I think I've spent almost 200k crowns on the Primeval pack so far, and I've only gotten 1 Perm mount the entire time, the Chompy, which you guys saw. I've opened this pack off camera and I still haven't gotten any perm mounts. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Do you guys think I should just open this pack again, like for Christmas or something? Would you guys want to see that? Let me know if you do, because I may just open the Primeval pack on Christmas to see if we can get perm Stompy. That's what I need. I can't believe I've only gotten one perm mount the entire time of opening that. But yeah, that's where we're at with Stompy. Pretty annoying. And then for the final piece, I'm using the Fire Fairy box. And on that, I have socketed another damage talent. So in total, I think we socket 3 damage talents. Let me see. Yep, there's the 3. 2 pierce. And then the sharpened blade. So those are all the sockets. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. Let me know if you want to see the Stompy pack opening. Can I get it? Can I get it this year? Can I get it for Christmas? I don't know. Let me know. Leave a like for that if you want to see it. But yeah, subscribe if you're new around here for more Wiz videos in the future. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time.